come in dragging. Dead man walking, sleeping in the house of God. In the house of God, a house of ministry that has caused us to become free, and a house that caused us to be able to be sent out to deliver and restore the community and our families. We are tripping. We are tripping. We are tripping. And we stumbling. And we shouldn't be stumbling because we have a solid ground and foundation that God has laid, that the pattern that our leaders have agreed to. We should be walking upright. I'm not slipping or sliding. If I come here and I feel myself as a dead man walking, guess what we do? Speak in tongues, stir yourself up. And it's not routine, it's a part of who I am. So I can be in the van and just go on the Walgreens. It is what it is, because he is who he is, and he allows us to be who he's called us to be. So that's important. So today, let's come into agreement with the removal of the stimulus called Adam. Adam was and is removed through heart surgery. So Adam has already been removed. Amen. Sure? Adam has already been removed. Adam was and is removed through heart surgery. So we can't get off the table, and we'll get off the potter's wheel. I'm done. God's not done. Who's in control? Me or him? That's a question that we have to ask ourselves. Who's in control? Me or him? So let's say this. Let's say that you went to the physician and you got your checkup. Man, we need checkups. We need checkups. You go to your physician and your doctor lay on the table. I need to check out your body, see how you're going. See how you're doing. You don't get up and say, "Oh, I'm done. You done." I'm gonna tell you, you done. You can't tell the physician or doctor that she or he is done until they get done with the checkup and with the process. They diagnose the issue that you can't diagnose because you're not licensed to do it. I'm not licensed to diagnose my own issues. Seriously, I was talking to somebody about this in the library because I saw a joke, and I told the young man, I said, I don't even have the ability to self-evaluate myself because I'll lie to myself. I'll lie. Example for the children, that you can't even grade your own test. Now tell me, when you were in junior high or high school, you graded your own test. You grade your own test, you're gonna lie. I call it point shaving. I'm gonna shave these points. So I can make myself be better, but then I'm cheating God. So I call myself point shaving. So we don't have the ability to grade our own test. You know how your test is graded? Through Tawana, through Larry, through Pat. You know what, Brother Marcus, you kind of, you're suspect today. You okay? Hold on, that's an evaluation to me. Yes. Okay, hold on. Well, my heart at first. Then an adjustment is made from a diagnosis from a person outside of me, because the person that's on the inside of them allows them to diagnose the problem correctly. That's right. So I'm looking at Apostle and he's diagnosing issues. I know God is on the inside of him, so I trust that God is on the inside of him. And when he say it is what it is, that's what it is. We were talking about the message, and he said to me, basically what he told me, what I released was wrong. He said, I don't know what you're going to do with it. I said, I know what I'm going to do. It was wrong, so I'm going to remove it. There's nothing else for me to think about. Because if I think about it, then that's a self-evaluation. Hold on. I know more than him. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you think that, then it's a hard issue. All right, so let's move forward. I apologize. I'm late. Food for thought. The woman snack made for her peace, but snatched her from a place of rest. And how did this occur? Well, the serpent misquoted God. The serpent focused on what God told Adam not to do, thus provoking the woman or soul to bring attention to herself. In essence, the woman bowed down, which was representative of a lower nature, to hear from something that spoke from his belly. Yep. So this is what happens. Don't do that. Boom. Because I'm immature, I'm going to do the opposite of what you told me to do to prove you wrong. Because I'm right. But at times, when we say that a person will bow down to a lower nature to hear from something that speaks on his belly, let's be for real. Let's be serious. If it's a serpent or a snake on the ground, you telling me that physically, naturally, you want to bow down and lay down, and what you got to say? There was a snake in the basement at my grandmother's house, and I jumped on the chair like, oh, hold on. I didn't do like this. What's up, brother? I didn't do that. I'm serious. I did not do that. I jumped and I calmed myself and I said, hold on. You're bigger than him. I got you. I'll holler at you, brother. But think about that. Because we'll bow down to a serpent and our flesh, but we won't bow to God. Why? Because we gotta go inside and find out what's on the inside of our hearts. So this is why we act up in class. The soul wants the limelight. You ever saw Coming to America and the guy was singing, he said, "Sexual chocolate." Drop the mic. That's the soul wanting the limelight. Sexual chocolate. Remember that? That's the soul acting up in class. Okay? I'm glad y'all laugh. It's fun to laugh. You know? I tell my students all the time, you can laugh, we can have fun, it's okay. But the thing about it is this. In class, children act up, because I work with youth. They will act up so I can feed into childlike behavior, and I will ignore them all day. And I'll let them know, today my goal is to ignore childlike behavior. And they'll get it together. You understand that? So in the ministry, right, if we act up in class, they're going to ignore us. They may address it and want us to get with God so he can address it, but they're not going to spend a lot of time addressing childlike behavior, because this is a house of maturity. You understand that? This is a house of maturity. So we have to, as soon as we get correction, let's make this adjustment. They're not going to do, especially not in 2014. They're not coming back to us and saying, boom, 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 boom. Or in any 2000, for that matter, like you said. It took me a while to figure that out. But especially in the time that we're in now, on the serious side, we don't have a lot of time to focus on baby issues, because there's so much work to be done. There's so many people that are hurting, that need us, that we have to get in our right position. So God specifically said in Genesis 2:16, he said that you are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die spiritually. So God said what you could do first. Then he said what you should not do. The serpent said what you should not do. Then we defended it. Well, we didn't have to say anything. Our life should have spoken the words, and it would have been established. So I don't got to argue with you. I don't have to argue with you. I don't have to argue with the servant. I only have to argue with myself. Because when God speaks something, then the argument, the battle is won. Because that's an internal battle. When we argue with certain things, that's an internal battle. So we don't have to lend our members to that. The serpent fed an appetite of independence, which is worldly wisdom or pride, which says, I'm going to eat the crumbs of the table, or the crumbs that fall from the master's table, instead of partaking of the whole loaf, which is the bread of life. So let's say that the people that we find ourselves comparing ourselves to, which is totally wrong, they're actually eating crumbs. They have houses, cars, chains, clothing. They have all these things. If they're not in Christ, I promise you those things are crumbs. Those things are crumbs. The house can be big and gigantic, but because we take a fleshly lens and we look and we say, "Woo, I envy that right there." But you don't understand in the spirit, or we don't understand that that person is eating crumbs. If they submitted what they had to God, then he will multiply that in order for them to be a person of multiplication in the earth. So you have people that have possessions that have possessed them, and it doesn't allow them to